Thank you so much. Yes, thank you once again for volunteering and for putting up your hand to participate in this workshop that will be hosted on the 30th of November. Just full disclosure, we've had, I don't know if this should be on recording, but I think it's the truth basically. So we've had some difficulties moving forward with the workshops in Botswana this year for various different reasons. So, as you would know, or I'm not sure if we mentioned it when we came in June, we were planning to host workshops in Jwaneng and Orapa, but last minute they fell through because of different reasons. One of them being COVID at the time, and also just the logistics from the teams on the ground. It was really difficult for them to mobilize the girls and the schools and a lot of different things. So we weren't able to go through with those workshops. And then we had a touch base meeting to find out when we can actually host these workshops again. And initially we had said, or the team on the ground had said September tentatively, but again, it wasn't able to happen. And so we kind of gave up on it happening this year because, as we know, towards the end of the year, students are going into exam period. It's going to be a lot harder to get them to come to an event like this. But about 3 weeks ago, the Botswana team in Jwaneng reached out and said they feel confident that they can have this event now on the 30th of November, which is why we're working towards this date. So everything is really with them at this point in time. They have all of the collateral. They're the ones who are organizing um, the catering, everything. And the last communication I had with them was to say that they're just confirming with the schools that this will go ahead, but they would like to meet, I think, 50 girls. So I haven't heard back from them since the beginning of this week when they said that they were going to get back to me, and I have followed up. So just full disclosure, since you are part of our team, that this is something we're going ahead with on our side, but they may just come back and say that they weren't able to get the numbers. So just so that you're aware of that. But all the planning on our side will continue, which is why we're having this training. And I think it's also going to be beneficial for you to do this now in case we will have another workshop at a different time. And also as a 1 Million Girls in STEM ambassador, which I think you are, right, Maseko?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Fantastic. You haven't hosted a session yet, though.
I have. I have. I think I was in June in Rainbow High School.
Okay. And how did that go?
It was great. It was an eye opener, really. It was great. It was my first one. It was my first one, so I was still a bit scared. Yeah, my bones and flesh were not they were detached, but I felt like with time it gets better.
No, definitely. I'll tell you, for me, like I'm very shy. I don't like public speaking, but because of my role at Women, I've had to stand in front of like hundreds of people and have to engage with them, and it's very nerve-wracking. But like over time, you do get used to it. You can ask Nomfundo as well. I've put her on the spot many times.
She really does. She puts me on the spot all the time, Masejo.
It's
But you do
not a
so
nice
well.
feeling.
But she
And
does really well.
I never do well, trust. I try, but shaky.
Very humble. She's very humble. She does very well all the time. So, so definitely, I think, yeah, that's amazing that you've already done one before. Then you're pretty skilled. I would say as long as you've done it once, you got this on the bag.
Yeah.
I do think it's different content that you do for 1 Million Girls and STEM ambassadors. I'm not sure because Tanganani handles that part of things. Do you guys have a slideshow template that you use, or do you use your own content?
We have a slideshow, but in most cases, it's better to maybe like do something bespoke because you meet a different crowd. They require different things. You can't always do the same thing. You have to add a little bit of something to make the content more relatable. And yeah, so we have the slide. I think it acts as a guideline in most parts.
Okay, that's good. So we will share, this is like the master slide that we use for our De Beers program specifically because it's got the look and feel. As you can see over here, it's got Botswana. and De Beers, who are partners. So I think you can add and remove things as an engineer yourself, what you think you can maybe speak to so that you're quite comfortable as you're doing the session. But for the most part, we do keep the same content for this specific group of girls. There will be, they will organize like a projector and a mic if needed. Last time they did it in a classroom, so there wasn't really a need for a mic. But if it's a bigger space and venue, you see all of these things, I do not know because they have not communicated with us. So I'm hoping we can wrap this up on Monday. But basically, the session will start, and I'll send you the the program agenda. So it should start at 8 o'clock. But knowing Botswana, it'll probably start at 9. So
That's a bad reputation.
just like bear that in mind.
Yeah.
That it may start at 9. The girls should be registered already because they're from the mine, so they should already be registered and good to go when they come in. We advise you going a day before. So Kia and Teboho will be your point of contact. And Kia, she's done this with us a few times before, so she like knows what's going on, and you feel quite comfortable with her. But basically, we have the hard hats, the bags. Inside there, there's going to be like GirlEng guides, which are little books that explain things about engineering, and they have different engineers that are featured in there. There'll be a set of stickers, which I'll show you in the slideshow as well. Actually, I just brought everything. It's in that office. Should I bring it? I'll bring it after
Okay.
we talk. And then, yeah, so those are the things that the girls will get. Each girl will get a bag and a hard hat and all of those things. And it should be either on the chairs or on the tables, depending on how the setup would be. Yeah, so one per girl. Please do not give any of these things to the teachers. They're specifically for the girls. Yeah, sometimes the teachers try to get away with getting some of the collateral, but we really do want it to just go to the girls at this point. Okay, so once everybody's settled and seated in, you welcome everyone to the session and just high energy, because I actually think you are high energy. Just like, yeah, like Nomfundo, high energy, welcome to the session, introduce yourself. I think you can even add a slide here. Let me duplicate. Maybe you can add a slide here and that's got your details on it. So you can put a picture of yourself, what you do, what your name is, maybe where you're from as well, like what village or town you're from in Botswana, because I think the girls also relate to that when they see somebody who looks like them, somebody who maybe they've come from a town that's similar to yours or the same town as yours. So just a quick introduction to who you are at the beginning, then you introduce what the point of the session is today. Because you find that sometimes the teachers just kind of take the girls and say, you're coming to this workshop or you're going to be, we're taking you to this place, but they don't necessarily know what they're doing there. So it's good just to explain the mission up front and let them know what the session is about. So who are we? We are Women in Engineering, and we are partnering with Depswana and De Beers Group to bring you this workshop so that you can understand a little bit more about engineering careers and opportunities. So the whole point of today is to open up your minds to the future, to learn more about the future of work and how engineering and that career aligns with the future world of work and the skills that you get. And then also you're going to be meeting with some engineers, and you can say you're an engineer and you're going to get to ask different questions, things that you've always wanted to know. And then we will do an activity. I'm sure you're wondering what your hard hats are here for and all of the things you have in the bag. So you can tell them they can open up the bags, and that is for them to take home. All of that stuff is for them. So they can open it up. And then you tell them like, okay, you explain what activity you will do later on. It's going to be really exciting. So like, hold on to your socks. Why do people say that? Hold on to your socks. Anyway. And then you can explain the safe space rules, which just encourages like learning and asking questions and putting up your hand and engaging. remind them that this isn't like a classroom setup, because sometimes they do feel like they're in class, and they're just there to take in knowledge. But this is actually supposed to be an engaging session. It's for them, and we want them to have fun. So if they're not having fun, they must come and let you know so that you can like sort it out, because they should be having a good time. It's supposed to be, it's basically for them. This whole thing is set up for them, and it's not for us. And then safety, just high level safety. When you get to the event venue, you can just ask where the toilets, where the emergency exits, just so that everyone knows where everything is, and you can just direct everyone to them. And you can also direct them to the people that they can talk to. So yourself as the women's facilitator, and some of the other De Beers people that will be there, sorry, the Dipswana people that will be there that they can contact. And at that point, you can also just give a shout out to them for organizing everything, yeah, Teboho or Kia, they're really amazing. Please just milk it. They're really amazing for coordinating everything, and let's clap hands for them, and just have a moment of gratitude for all of the effort that they put in for them every day. And then, yeah, you can just talk high level about COVID-19 and keeping themselves safe and being socially distant, sanitizing their hands, and then being respectful when somebody else is speaking at the front, and being very attentive to what's being shared. Maybe you can even share that you're nervous, but like, yeah, the fact that everybody is really focused and attentive, it gives you that confidence to keep going. So if they can do that for all of the speakers that are going to be there. Okay. And then you could do an icebreaker. So I'm going to leave this to you. This is the one we had. One word to describe your mood today, but you can put something more fun. I'm not as young as y'all, so I'm sure there's more fun activities that you can think of.
I'll
Maybe you could
try.
do people bingo. Have you heard of people bingo?
I'm an old soul, so please. I'm 25, but an old soul. But
Okay,
I'll try to figure something
bingo?
out.
Same,
Yes.
Masiko. Same. We're just the same.
Yes. Age, young, but inside, old, granny.
Wow, guys. Okay, do you know bingo? Like how bingo works?
A little bit.
So bingo works like if you think of a square and then say there's, just to make it easy, 3 squares, maybe like this. Let me see that. Like this, right?
Yeah.
So the point of the game is to get a row. Oh, it's all backwards. So my mind is like, okay. The point is to get a row or a column or a diagonal. Yeah, whatever. A row, yeah.
It's like X and O's.
Yes, yes. But then now what's on the blocks is you can find this online. What's on the blocks is things about people. So in the first blocks, you could say loves cartoons. I guess they were kids. Loves cartoons. Another thing maybe is always on the phone. I don't know. Has a TikTok account. Has a TikTok account, and then like all of the rows are filled in with things. And then what they do is they go around the room and they find people who meet that criteria, and then they can tick it.
Okay.
And then if they get all 3 in a row, then they say bingo. So the whole point is like to find people's interests or to get people out of their shells and get them to know other people. And then you can give them a little prize, like a chocolate bar or something.
Okay.
But that's just a suggestion. It may be too complicated for teenagers. But it worked well with HB.
Okay, we'll try a bit of that.
Okay. Or you can just go with this mood, describe your day, done. Keep it easy peasy. Okay. And then the next part is the introduction to women. So you will be doing this part and just talk about what our mission is. It's just 2 slides. so it's actually not that deep. So you just talk about the mission of WomenIng is to invest in the future of girls and women in STEM. And we do this through various different programs, just like the one we have right now. You can talk about how we reach girls that are quite young, that are in high school, but also, through the fellowship program, we reach girls that are in university. And then we also reach women who are professionals, professional engineers, or that are entrepreneurs. Yes. And then this talks to the full pipeline. You can maybe look through it, but it talks about all of the different programs that we do. Again, showing it from a step perspective. So this is the lowest step, like in terms of age. So here we deal with the girl child, the LaunchPad event, which will be the event you do with the hard hats with them after this. And then GirlEng, which is also what they're doing. So making STEM relatable and engaging, which is part of why they're here, to meet with other engineers, to get to ask questions. And then you can talk about circles, which is what we do on campuses and universities. And then fellowship, which is the same thing. And then here, engineering professionals. So basically what I just said there, and you can do it high level because they're kids. We normally just do this in case if there's press there or other people who don't know who we are, and it just helps them to contextualize what WomenIng is. And then the next slide would be Dabia's remarks. So it should actually say Dabswana, depending on who they have coming. But I'll change the slide when they confirm who it is. And then so at that point, you will just introduce them. Please make sure you have a bio beforehand. We will make sure that we give you all of that information beforehand. But if they haven't, they may just give you on the spot. They're not the most organized people sometimes. So we just need to be agile in case they give you the bio at the event or a day before the event, Yeah, so you just introduce whoever that is, they'll come and they'll speak, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll give it back to you. Okay. And then this is the part where we do the future of the world and work, the future world of work, future of the world and work. Okay, so you play this little video. Actually, maybe before this, you can ask them, what do they know engineering is? Or what do they think engineering is all about? What do engineers do? Here their responses. How do I remove this laser, guys? It won't let me remove the laser. It's not, oh man. Okay, I figured it out. Now play the video.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Keen minds will be needed with the best possible college education.
But you know what we can really use is some more scientists and some more engineers who are building and making things.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
So I think that opens up the conversation a bit more, or it opens up their mindset a bit more. I don't know how you guys felt about that video.
That's okay. And I think it's a little more on the teenager side, but it's fine. That's fine. I think they'll understand what it's about.
You think it might not be like they won't understand?
Because I'm not sure of the age bracket we are looking at. How old are the girls?
So normally we say between 14 and 17.
Okay, no, they'll be fine. I think that one it's better. It's fine.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Feel free to remove it if you feel like at some point it may be lost in translation. And you can put something else, or it can just be a conversation, right? Like what do you guys think engineering is? Yeah, what do you guys think engineering is all about? Because maybe they're limited in their thinking it's just mining engineering because they're coming from a mining community.
Yeah.
Or they think about civil engineers and roads and water and drainage and all of those things, but they like who actually thinks everything that we see is engineering essentially, right? So just to kind of broaden their mind and their scope. So yes, then you just explain engineers, they are futurists, which means that they are future thinkers. They think about the future, and they kind of shape the way that the future looks. They think strategically. They're also artists, they do use elements of creativity and they're not just technical beings. And yeah, they plan for 50 to 100 years in the future. Yes. And then this was a page number. Why? Okay, then you just can talk about like the different things that engineering has given us. And then this one is always like an interesting one because we ask the girls, how long do you think does it take to build a traditional house? Like brick and mortar, the house that you live in. And then they give you their estimates. They'll be like, oh, a year, oh, 6 months, I don't know, 2 years, however long they think it takes to build a house. And then you're like, okay. And then you look at this, you show them this picture and you tell them, this house was 3D printed. How long do you think it took to make this house? And then they probably tell you like, oh, maybe 2 months, maybe a month, I don't know. And then you tell them it actually took 48 hours to build. And then they're like, oh, what? A whole house that took 48 hours? They get shocked every time.
All the time.
All the time. And then you're like, yeah, this is the future and this is what's happening right now. I'm not sure if there's 3D printing in Botswana. If there is, then you can use that example. I normally use the example of South Africa, and the government is actually working on a plan to use this for low cost housing so that people can get their housing a lot quicker. Because yeah, that's a really big thing here in SA is people want homes, they want good homes. So it's something that's happening right now. And imagine it takes 48 hours to have your house, and this is what engineers came up with. And then you can talk about new transportation systems. This is like a little plane for one user. They're too young to know the Jetsons, but I remember the Jetsons, and this was the dream.
Yeah.
And then you can talk about the Tesla. I don't know if they'll know what the Tesla is, but you can
They'll
explain that.
definitely know.
Okay.
They will know.
Okay, great. Yeah, electric cars, like what? And then you don't have the electricity problem in Botswana, so they'll be like, amazing, that's great, let's keep on doing that. And then this one is just about dressing up. Yeah, like changing rooms. So it's actually pretty old technology, but in Europe they have this, like on the left you can see this lady is using a screen to pick up certain outfits, what the outfit would look like on her. So what it does is it takes a picture of what you're looking like, what you look like now, and then it reflects the outfit that you want to wear. So you don't have to go into a changing room and like have that whole burden of taking clothes off and on. You can really just see it on a screen and you can decide, let's buy it. So engineering is making even things like fashion more efficient. It's saving us time. It's also saving us effort, because I'm sure there's long queues at Mr. Price and whatever other stores people go to. But with something like this, it really helps us out together. And again, this is what an engineer came up with. You can talk about AI, and I think most of them will like picture AI in this way, that it's about robots. But you can show them the different types of AI that even they have access to if they do have phones, um, through their Google Maps, or just different apps that they use. It uses location and it uses AI technology to help our lives be like easier. Then you can talk about biotechnology, and this speaks to the coronavirus vaccine or different types of vaccines that we have, and how we saw doctors and engineers had to come together to make this a reality, something that really helped us come out of the COVID-19 pandemic. So maybe they had never thought that they could work within different industries, but even in like as a biotechnologist or a biotechnical, a bio, a biomedical engineer,
Yes.
a biomedical engineer, they could be within the medical industry without having to be doctors. Um, and then data mining, and then you can just let them know, like on your phone is tracking everything that you do, so that it can make, yeah, they're basically collecting your data, and they're creating a virtual profile of you to help you access certain things or to sell you certain things. And it's a really big industry right now. Data is actually gold at this point in time. They want to know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, blah blah blah. Yeah, and then you can also say, like, don't you find it interesting how sometimes you just scroll on your phone and then something pops up that you were talking about, or that you messaged, or that you searched one time? That is how they're using the data to show you things that you want to see, algorithms and all of that. And then smart cities that are going to make our life easier. So everything being used through our phones, like you no longer have to carry cards anymore, but you can have things like Apple Pay, all of your health things in one app, smart mobility, so connecting, knowing where all of your transport systems will be all in one device, all of that stuff. So just about, yeah, talking about
In
emerging
terms of
technology.
smart cities, is that a new neighborhood or is it a new town in Dubai? The Line, is it?
The Line.
Yeah,
Is it called the Line?
it's called the Line
Like
in
a
Dubai.
line, a straight
It's
line.
like it's a town, but it's in linear form. Like it's just a line.
Oh, what?
I'm
I'm going to Google it. That
the
sounds so interesting.
Line. It's in Saudi actually, not in Dubai. It's in Saudi
Ah,
Arabia. Isn't it like a smart city of some sort? Because it's supposed to be like, yeah, the Line is a smart linear city under construction in Saudi Arabia. It is designed to have no cars, streets, or carbon emissions.
okay. So how
I
is
wanted
it
to
going to
ask
get
if it's
around?
like a smart city, it falls under a smart city or something like that. But
I
it
guess
looks like
so.
it looks
So
like
maybe you can speak to that. Maybe if you, yeah, you can put that as an example. I didn't even know about that. That's so interesting.
okay.
I heard we're trying to do it here, but ish. Anyway.
Where? South Africa.
In South Africa.
You guys are
Cyril's
it's
trying
so mind
to do
blowing.
something.
Cyril is doing the things that need to be done.
He really is. Ooh, the father of the nation. Okay, yeah. And then you can speak to mining, which is something they know very well. Um, yeah, mining. Maybe at the beginning you can ask them what are types of engineering that they know very well, and they can they can put up their hand. Actually, there's another slide that shows all of the different types of engineering. I'll put that up there or
Okay.
before when you're speaking about engineers, and then it just shows all of the different tracks that you can go into. Yeah, and then engineering cities on other planets. This story, I mean, I've said this story many times, but I want to like Google it myself. That there's some girl who's going to go to Mars, who's being prepared to go to Mars so that they can see if they can. I think Elon Musk is also doing something like this.
Yeah, a girl who's
Um,
going to Mars.
there's a girl who's going to Mars, but then I also think NASA is doing. Where is it? NASA is doing something to see if we can live on another planet, since the Earth is going to be destroyed or something. Alyssa Carson,
Yeah, a 17-year-old IB student from Louisiana.
and she is still being prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, then you can put that story there. And is that right? I think Mrs. Fact checked the story. But yes, then you can let them know, like somebody your age is basically going to Mars. Would you guys give up everything to go and live in a different city? Because then she can't get married, she can't have children. She's basically her whole life is on this mission. So see what they say. I'm sure they'll be shocked. Yeah, and then you could just show them the skills that they're going to need, or the skills that we need right now that are high in demand this year. You can maybe just list them out and then just let them know that all of these skills you get from studying engineering. Yeah, number one is analytical thinking and innovation, which is what engineers are. They're innovative. Creativity is something that's really important. Critical thinking. Maybe you can even speak about emotional intelligence and how that's like it's something that we actually do need, versus what we've always thought that we should be hard and not have emotions, but actually having a high EQ is having empathy and engaging with people and caring about people's emotions is also something that we're really gonna need in the future. And then just bring it back and say, the future jobs they will take engineers or the engineering ability or the skills that you get through an engineering degree or diploma, etc. They are within these skills that you need. Then I have another video which you may not need to play. Let me just see what this one's about. I don't think that's my favorite one. There's another one. Okay. Yes. So this just kind of speaks again to what we were saying. Maths and science makes the world go around. And then maybe you can ask them like, how are they doing in maths? Because every time we have these sessions, the one question is, what if my math grades are not good? Can I still study engineering? Can I still pursue a career in engineering? So you can just hear them out. I think it'd be interesting to see how they're coping, right? So I'll remove the video before that and play this one because this one's quite fun. Okay. Yes. So you can play this one. They usually have a laugh and they're excited, and it helps them see how like engineering and technology can be fun. Because the whole point of this was to get people to be healthier and use the stairs, but
Yeah.
they did it in a really fun way, and it doesn't have to just be like boring, right? And the whole point is just to make people's lives more efficient. Actually, people at the core of engineering, because you want to change behaviors, you want to change people's lives, you want to make their lives better. Actually, um, cool. And then you do the launchpad event. Okay. Any questions so far?
I think we're on the right track. We're good. We're good thus far.
Okay, cool. This is the really fun part. The really, really fun part. So launching your dreams. Then you can talk about the 1 Million Girls in STEM campaign. These are all of the places in the world that Women has managed to meet girls, to reach girls through this campaign, through our ambassadors, of which you are one. And then you can say that we're on a mission to reach 1 million girls through education, through STEM education and awareness initiatives globally by the year 2030 in partnership with UNESCO. And you can tell them that they are part of that 1 million number, and that through this, we'll be able to change the face of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We've hosted in, I think, over 22 countries already and counting. Yeah, and then you can just show them this fun picture. So this is the activity you're going to be doing. You're going to be branding your hard hats. These are all of the places some of the places that we've been to. I think I should add a Namibia and even Botswana picture here. It is a bit old, but this one at the very bottom is in Canada. These are girls in South Africa. These are girls in the UK, etc., etc. So they're also going to be part of that, and we're going to take pictures and have so much fun. Yay! And then you can ask them, like, what is a problem that they really want to solve in their community, country, or the world? What's something that they're really passionate about? Because, yes, because that is what engineering does, or engineers do. They solve problems, and I'm sure like they've seen problems within their community that they'd like to fix. So they can sit and discuss with one another, and then you can have people share, maybe give them 5 minutes or something to discuss within themselves. And then if anyone is feeling confident, they can share. And then you can talk about the SDGs, just high level, what they are. So the United Nations established these goals that we need to achieve by 2030 across the world. And these are a part of the problems that you spoke about, like zero hunger, no poverty. You don't have to go into too much detail about this, but you can just let them know that these goals exist because of the problems that we face in the world, and what they have also seen, and even the problems they shared. This is what we're all trying to solve, and you are part of solving that problem. We need every single person in the world to be a part of solving the problem. And then this is part of the stickers. So the stickers that they get will have these goals, and then it'll also have these values. So you ask them like, what are their core values? What's something that stood out for them on here? 2 or 3 that they really love. Maybe they're all about the environment. Maybe they're very faith-based. Maybe for them it's about looking beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. Authenticity. And then you tell them that that's what they're going to do. They're going to take those stickers and put them on their hard hats. The things that they're like, that are close to their hearts and that they're passionate about. And they're going to brand their hard hats with their markers, put their name on it, color it, do whatever they want. It's theirs. And then you're going to do this fun activity here. So you ask them about branding, because what they're doing is branding their hard hats. So you ask them, what do you want to be known for? What is your brand? Hear what they've got to say. And then you can say, okay, we're going to show you some brands now. We're going to do a really fun game, and you're going to tell me what the name of this brand is. So whoever can tell me first wins, is the winner. Maybe they don't win anything, but you win if you guess the thing first. So really prepare them, like, this is going to be, you have to be super quick. So you say, okay, then you go to the next slide and you ask them, what brand is this? Right. So what brand is this, Masako?
Nike.
Well done. Well done. Okay. What brand is this?
That's Apple.
Apple. And then the next slide will say Apple. Yay, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, can you imagine, like, you just see an apple that's half eaten and you already know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
what? And then you ask them, what's this? What brand is this?
It's McDonald's.
Yeah,
Mm.
McDonald's. Woo. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm sure.
Okay. And then you ask them, what's this?
Stuff.
Yes, it's Dove. Yay. You know, the one. And then you can, oh, as you're doing this, you can even stop and be like, what's Dove known for? What's Apple known for? Like, what are these brands known for? Like, fine,
Yeah.
you can see what they look like, but they make you feel something, right? Or they make you that you think of something immediately once you see it, you know? And then you do the next one. What's this one? This one's a bit hard.
Yeah, it's Coca-Cola.
Okay. Coca-Cola, it's the wave, right?
All the time.
You drink it all the time.
No, I'm actually away from it.
Oh, you stay away from it. Wow.
I stay away
Then
from
maybe you can ask
feces.
them, how many of us drink Coca-Cola here? Like,
Yeah.
see what they say. And then they'll be like, no, my mom doesn't let me drink it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, what does Coke mean to you? What does Coke mean to you, Masako?
What does Coke mean to me? Honestly, what does it mean to me? I just like the Coca-Cola wings. That's just it. Otherwise,
Wings.
yeah, those wings that are made out of Coca-Cola.
Wings.
Yeah, wings.
Is this a thing in Botswana?
Not
Nomfundo? Do
really.
you know about it?
Haven't you seen them in the internet? You can make wings out of Coca-Cola.
I've seen that. It's like a marinade thing, and sometimes they make like a sauce out of it.
It's like sweet wings.
Yeah, it's like sticky wings even. Yeah, they make it like
Yes.
really sticky.
Okay, maybe I should see this recipe, guys. It might be what my what my wings are
That's the
missing.
only time I like consume Coca-Cola. Otherwise,
Wow. Okay, it's good to know. Good to know. Yeah, so ask them like, what does this make you feel? We did this in fellowship, and they were like, happiness. When they think of Coca-Cola, they think happiness, fun, young, and it's like that's the marketing that they do, right? Yeah. So that's just like, okay. And then you ask them, so then now we've looked at like brands. Can people be brands? You know? Hear what they have to say. Maybe they'll say yeah or no. I'm sure they'll say yes. And then you'll be like, okay, now we're gonna look at some people, and then you guys are going to tell me what their brand is. Same as the last one, but now we're doing it with people. So is everyone ready? Okay, get energized. Okay. And then you show them this person. Who's this? They'll say Nelson Mandela. What is he known for? Peace. That's like the consistent one. Okay.
very consistent.
Very consistent. Then you ask them, who's this lady? They'll say Oprah. And feel free to like move these people around so that it's relevant to the people. You can take Oprah out and put somebody else. Maybe that's more that they'll know. I don't know if they'll know who Oprah is. I don't know who this is. This was in the previous. Is she someone from Botswana?
Yeah, she's the first lady.
Right now.
Yes.
Okay, then they'll know who this is.
It's Noah Masisi.
What's her brand?
Sorry guys, we have 8 minutes.
Okay, I'm almost done, Nomfundo. Okay, and then Malala. You know who Malala is, right?
I know her, but I don't know what she does exactly. She was in our slide, I think, in 2020.
Okay, please do Google her. I would say keep this person in because she's a young person that they can look up to. But basically, she fought for girls' rights to an education in Pakistan, and she was shot 8 times, also several times in the head, but she survived. And now she won a Nobel Peace Prize for what she did. She did this as a teenager, and now she's in her early 20s and she's studying at Harvard, I think. But yeah, read up on her story.
She graduated. I have to tell you this every time.
Oh, sorry, she graduated. Apparently. Okay, and then Michelle Obama, and then we like to put Donald Trump here. Yeah, we like to put Donald Trump here just to show that brands can also be negative, because I'm sure they'll have negative things to say. There may be somebody else that's more appropriate from a Botswana perspective. You let me know, and you can put that person here. But the point is just to show that though you can have a great brand that's positive, you can also have a negative brand, and it can be intentional. Because in Donald Trump's case, he intentionally wants to be hated. Like that is his intention is to be controversial, and he feeds off of that energy. So what kind of person do you want to be? You know, you can leave them thinking about that. Yes. And then here, this is when you can do the activity basically, and you can tell them this is something you can think of as you're branding your hats. What's your superpower? What do people frequently praise you for? Maybe you're funny. What ignites or energizes you? What do people consistently use to describe you? Yeah. And then, yeah, this is the activity. And that's basically the end of the slideshow portion of things. And then you can have them do the activity. I'll put an extra slide, just like a holding slide to say branding activity. You give them like 15 minutes to do that. They have fun. And then at the end, you ask them to come and present their hats and share like why did they decorate it the way that they decorated it. Yeah, so it's and like you see that they're really shy at the beginning, and towards the end of the event they become a lot more confident. Everyone wants to share all of a sudden, and you have to be like, yo, it's time, guys. I mean, I'd love for you guys to keep going, but the time has run out, and yeah, but you can manage your time as well. And then that'll be the end of that. So I'm not even sure, because I haven't been in contact with these people like now, there should be a meet, like ask an engineer portion of the session. So what that is they'll bring like 2 or 3 engineers from GirlEng, and they will just answer questions basically, that the girls will have about engineering. And maybe they can ask you if no one actually comes. You can just be like, I'm here if you guys have questions. But basically you can just do what's in the slide and end off the session there. And then they'll have food, lunch will be served, and then they'll go home.
Okay, no
Yes.
problem.
Is there do you have any questions?
I think with the slide part and basically the program, I think I'm good with that. But I was informed that I'll have to go there. I'm sorry, I think I have the flu.
Oh, sorry.
I was informed that I have to go there a little bit early to help prepare. I think some of these questions would have been better if these guys had talked to you prior this meeting, but you did your part, and maybe we should wait for them because I want to know where the event will be in GirlEng. I'm a bit familiar with GirlEng. I have lived there for a year. So
Okay.
I wanted the nitty-gritties as in like when I'm expected, what time I'm expected, logistics part of it. And
Okay.
the event will end on probably around lunchtime on
On the 30th.
on the 30th. That means, okay, maybe they can book a day. I'll come back in the afternoon. We'll see what they have decided. I guess.
So let's see. You're based in Gaborone, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the travel time from Gaborone to GirlEng is what, 4 hours? 3 hours?
Oh, it's an hour 30 minutes.
Okay. An hour 30 minutes. Okay.
Yes.
And then ideally, could you travel the morning of, or would you like to go the day before?
I think it will be better I go the day before, because if I say the morning off, I run at a risk of being late.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do this on our side, Nomfundo. Could we try and find accommodation for Maseko for the 29th tentatively?
No problem. I'll give you that, or Monday should all have all of that.
Okay.
Or later today, because Monday later today.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll book the accommodation for you on our side, and then any additional costs that you make, like in terms of petrol, food for the 29th and the 30th, we will transfer into your account once you send the is it receipts? Should I say receipts? But once we know what the amount comes up to, and then we can make sure that we send you that money with an extra on top for all of the efforts that you're doing. So let us handle the accommodation. We'll come back to you on Monday, and then I think I just need to call some people. I'm probably gonna call. Let me call Kia and see what she says this afternoon, and I can try and give you an update.
Yeah, I had communicated with, I think, Fundo. In terms of transportation, for now, I'm unemployed, guys, so I'm digging deep into my pocket. But I think for now, I can afford to transport myself there and come back. In terms of food, I think it's going to be a little hard, but I'll see what to do. But I can afford to take myself there and come back.
Could you give us an estimate of how much you think everything will cost?
Okay.
Via email.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay. Because I think I can even try and make a transfer on Monday. The problem is they're just not confirming with me. They're very annoying, these people. That's on recording. Sorry.
Let me
I
just
appreciate you, Debswana, wherever you are.